Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is the Addicted Bookworm and it's time for another review, and I am reviewing Pride, Prejudice, and Zombies by Jane Austen and Seth Graham Smith. Sorry I butchered your name, Seth. You're a great author. Okay, so Pride and Prejudice is actually the second book that Jane Austen wrote in her lifetime. And this one is essentially, it is the same story of Pride and Prejudice, but what Seth does in it is he adds zombies. He adds disease and violence and things like that. And what's interesting about this book is that the zombies who rise up from their graves, they are considered legions of Satan. And people might think that that is funny, but it also kind of tells you what would happen if this was an actual thing. You know, like, what if there was actual zombies in England and all that type of stuff? How would they be viewed? And the quite statement would be they would be referred to as, legions of Satan, because the idea of like viruses and disease at the time, I don't know if it went, sorry about that, take that back. At the time that Pride and Prejudice was actually published, I don't remember what year it was, but I do know it was probably maybe the early 1800s. They knew absolutely nothing about diseases and viruses and things like that. So the attitude that people would have, let's say for sake of argument, zombies were actually a real thing, they would be looked at as, something unholy, because nobody would understand what actually would cause this to happen. By the way, this was like a Penguin Press. I'm sorry, it looks like a Penguin Press book, a Penguin House book, but anyways, so it follows the story of these girls, and they are trained by their father to kill the legions of Satan. And you have Mr. Darcy, who is definitely a lot more than he is in the actual Pride and Prejudice, but still he's very much a product of his time, and he's very much a very engaging kind of character. He kind of has some flaws in him that, people in today would not exactly like, especially, feminists wouldn't exactly like him. In fact, I'm pretty sure this book, they still wouldn't like him. So it's definitely full of like cannibalism and violence and blood and death and all of that type of stuff that makes a great zombie book. So I actually, I think I did a thing where I talked about literary mashups, and I think if I did upload that video, then yay, then you know what I was talking about, called Little Vampire Women, which, by the way, I cannot wait to read. And so, these literary mashups are like really interesting, and it actually does want you it also does make you want to read the original Pride and Prejudice, because you kind of can do like a, looking at it and see how much of the original was put into the book and how much of it is Seth's insert. Anyways, absolutely loved this book. I am planning on to buy it. I also have in my cart the original, I have in my cart Sense and Sensibility, but I definitely will be picking up the original Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen and this thing. I really loved this story. This book is perfect for the spooky season. That's on my personal view on that. It's perfect for the spooky season. Loved this book. I really did. So anyways, I gave it 5 stars on Goodreads. It was absolutely an amazing book. I just loved it. I just absolutely loved it. And now I know why it is a New York Times bestseller. And it's really great when you take a literary classic that is in public domain. Sense and Sensibility is in public domain because it's been like over 2 centuries. And also, at the time she wrote it, there was no such thing as copyright law. At least I don't think so. But, yeah. But this is a great, great way to celebrate Jane Austen, to kind of put a little macabre twist on her books. And I absolutely just devoured it. It is such a great book. Alright, so if you guys have ever read Sense and Sensibility and Zombies, please let me know what you personally thought about it. I just found the characters to be just really amazing, and these women had their own like opinions, and at least that's how I look at it and everything. But I definitely want to read the original Sense and Sensibility, and I am so looking forward to it. All right, so Sense and Sensibility. Sorry. Oh Lord, I messed up on this. I'm not redoing it because my brother currently has his thing off, and I don't want to keep him from his videos and everything. But anyways, so I want to pick up Sense and Sensibility, and I definitely want to pick up Pride and Prejudice, both by Jane Austen. So if you guys have, I should have said, if you guys have read Pride and Prejudice and Zombies, please let me know what you thought about it. I loved it, and did it make you want to read the original classic? Okay, so I will see you guys around.